Introduction. Most computer programs work with files. This is because files help in storing information permanently. We know that if we put any content inside a file, then that content will store permanently until we delete that particular file. So most computer programs work with file because the content will store permanently. That is why. For example, you can see word processor create documents file, means when we are using MS Word, we create a document and the content is stored in the form of file, so we can access that file in future if that particular file is not deleted. In database also, database programs create files of information. Compilers read source files and generate executable file. So we see it in these files that mostly work with inside program. So it is clear that file is used everywhere inside the program, or normally we use file to store the content or information permanently, so we can access it in future. A file in itself is a bunch of bytes stored on some storage device like hard disk, thumb drive, etc. Means if there is file, that file will store in storage device like hard disk, CD, pen drive, etc. So for storing a file we need storage device. Mostly the file contains something present inside it. There may be some file that can be empty also, but mostly there are file which contain something like content, information, etc. Every programming language offers some provision to use and create files through programs, so that the information should be stored in the form of permanently and it can access whenever it is needed. Python is no exception, and in this chapter we shall be learning to work with data files through Python programs. In Python we work in two form, means or two type. First is interactive mode. In interactive mode, whenever we write a program, after that we execute that program, we will get the output. But when we close the command prompt or Python prompt, then that program will removed, because that program is not stored in the form of file. That is why it will remove. That file is temporary. But when we are working with script mode, as we know that in script mode we type our program inside a file and after that we save that file and execute it. So whenever we need that program, we can easily open that particular file and access that program. Data files. The data files are the file that store data pertaining to a specific application for later use. The data file can be stored in two ways. Means data file store data in the form of what? Relative or related to a specific application for use in future. The data file can store in two type. Number one is text file and number two is binary file. Number one, text file. A text file store information in ASCII or Unicode character. Means the content which are stored inside the text file is in the form of ASCII or Unicode character that depend upon the default programming platform. Means the one which is default for your programming language, like Python support Unicode character. In text files, each line of text is terminated or delimited with a special character known as EOL, means end of line. Means in text file every line is terminated with the help of EOL. EOL means end of line, means some special character, means some special character like backslash n means new line character, backslash r return character, etc. In text file, some internal translation takes place when this EOL character is read or write, because in text file every line is terminated with the help of EOL, end of line. For example, backslash n, backslash t. So whenever this EOL character is read or write, then internal translation takes place inside the text file. In Python, by default, this EOL character is the new line character, backslash n, or return carrier, new line combination like backslash r and backslash n. We know that print statement of Python contain by default backslash n. So in text file, it store information in the form of ASCII or Unicode. It depend upon the default of the programming platform it support, like Python support Unicode character. In text file, every line is terminated with the help of EOL character like backslash n, backslash r, etc. Due to this, some internal translation takes place when this EOL character is read or write. Number 2, binary files. A binary file is just a file that contain information in same format in which the information is held in memory. Means the information held in memory in the form of binary, means 0 and 1. So binary file is just a file, but it contains the information in the same format as it stored inside the memory. Inside the memory, the information is stored in the form of 0 and 1, binary form. The file content that is returned to you is raw, with no translation or no specific encoding. Why there is no translation occurs in binary file? Because there is no EOL character present inside binary file. That is why there is no internal translation takes place. In binary file, there is no delimiter for a line like backslash n or backslash r. Also, no translation occur in binary file. As a result, binary file are faster and easier for a program to read and write. Why binary file is faster? Because there is no internal translation occurs inside binary file. That is why it is easy for a program to read, and it contains the information in the same format as it stored in the memory, binary form 0 and 1. So due to this, it becomes faster and easier. As long as the file doesn't need to be read by people or need to be protected to a different types of system, binary files are the best way to store program information. Next, opening and closing files. Whenever we are working with file, first we have to open the file. After that, we will perform the basic operation, file manipulation operation like writing, reading, or modifying, means adding, like this. And at last we have to close the file. So in order to work with file from within a Python program, you need to open it in a specific mode. Here mode indicate that you are opening the particular file for which purpose, for read purpose, for write, or you want to add or delete. So it is compulsory to provide mode as per the file manipulation task you want to perform. The most basic file manipulation tasks include adding, modifying, or deleting in a file. In a file, basically these three operations are performed. Means you will add something inside the file, or you will update something inside the file, or at last you will delete the file. These three are the basic file manipulation task, which is done include any one or combination of the following operation. Means there can be combination also. Means you are adding something or plus you are modifying something inside the file, or you are simply adding something inside the file. Like see here, read data from file. Number 2, writing data to file. Number 3, appending data to files. Appending means adding something inside the file which already contained something. Python provides built-in function to perform each of these tasks. But before you can perform this function in a file, you need to first open the file. Means for performing all the basic file manipulation tasks, Python provide built-in function. But first we have to open the file. So opening files. In data file handling, through Python, the first thing that you do is open the file. It is done using open function. Open is also a built-in function as per one of the following syntax. This is the syntax of open function. First see here, there is file object name or variable. Variable in file handling is known as file object name. After that assignment operator is there. After that open is a built-in function, so it will contain parentheses, and inside the parentheses we have to write the file name or the path name where the particular file is stored. So we have written simply here file name. This is one syntax. Next see here, file object name, assignment operator, open, inside parentheses we have written the file name, comma, after that we have written mode. Means we are opening the file for what purpose? For read, write, or read or write both. So we have to write the mode also here. See this example. My file is a object. Sorry, this is a variable. My file is a variable. In file handling we called variable as file object name. After that assignment operator is there. After that open is the built-in function, and inside this built-in function we have to write the file name. Here the file name is what? taxes.txt. The file name always be in double quotation or single quotation, but quotation is compulsory. When this line will execute, Python will look for this file in current working directory. If the file is not present there, then it will move to another directory. The above statement opens file taxes.txt in file mode as read mode, default mode, and attaches it to file object, namely my file. Means whenever we open a file, means we are by default it is in which form? Read form. When we will open a particular file, we will first do what? We will read that particular file. So the default mode of file is what? Read mode. In short, we write only R, small r. See here, one example is given. Variable name is what? File2 or file object name. After that assignment operator is there, then open, and after that see here, file name is there, data.txt in double quotation. After that comma R is there. R indicate what? Read mode. In short we write R for read mode, and it is by default mode of file. The above statement open file data.txt in read mode because of R given as mode, and attaches it to file object, namely file2. Means this one. We normally say this as a variable, but in file handling we will say this as a file object name or file handle. Consider one more file open system here. See this one, file 3 is given. After that assignment, then open built-in function, and this is path of a file. Means see, e represent what? E is a directory name, means or a drive. After that main is a name of folder, and result.txt is a file. Means this file result.txt is stored inside which folder? Main folder. And this main folder is present in which drive? E drive. So this complete is known as path. So it will in double quotation, comma, after that we have written w. W represent what? Write. So Python will look this for E drive. See this one, Python will look for this file in E drive. Why? Because drive name is given here. The above statement opens file result.txt, store in folder E drive main, in write mode because of w given as mode, and attaches it to file object, namely file 3. See this one. A file object is also known as file handle. Normally what we say? As a variable. Normally we say this file 3 as a variable, but in file handling we will say file object or file handle. Notice that in above file open statement, the file path contains double slashes in place of single slashes. This one, we normally give single slash, but why we are giving double slash? There is a reason behind this, because we know that if this is there, means backslash n or backslash t, the meaning will different. Means this is new line character, this is tab character. So the above given 3 file open statement must have raised this question in your mind. What is file object? What is mode or file mode? We can simply say that file object is normally a variable which will store everything after the calculation or the work performed, and through file object means the variable we can access it easily. And what is the mode? Means we are opening a particular file for what purpose? For read, write, or read or write both. The coming lines will have answer to all your question, but for now let us summarize the file open function. Means first we will discuss about the open function. First point, Python's open function create a file object which serve as a link to file residing to your computer. Means whenever we are using Python open means built-in function, a file object will be created. Why? To link, that will serve as a link to a file residing on your computer. So means with the help of this object, with the help of this variable or file object, we can easily access the particular file. That is why we are creating the variable or file object whenever we are using open function. Second point, the first parameter for the open function is the path to the file you like to open. If just the file name is given, then Python search for file in current folder. Means when we know that open is a function, means it will contain parentheses, and this is built-in function, this is function call. When there is function call, then it will contain what? It will contain parameter. So the first parameter will be the file name or the path. After that comma, the second parameter will be the mode. So the third point, see here, the second parameter of the open function correspond to a mode, which is typically read. Means for read we write r, small r. For write we write w. For append means to add, we write a. If no second parameter is given, then by default it open it as a r. Means if we are not providing the second parameter inside open function, then it will take r as default mode. See this one. This is cf file object created when we are using open function. Here f is normally we say f as a variable, but in file handling we have to call f as a file object created. After that assignment operator is there, after that open function is there, and inside the open function this complete, you can see this is path to a file. This is known as first parameter, and r means mode is known as second parameter. Both parameter are separated by comma. In first parameter we can simply write the file name or the complete path where that particular file is present, means the drive name, the folder name, and the file name, or simply we can write the file name also. And this is the second parameter, means the mode. If we are not writing the second parameter of open function, then by default it will take r. R represent what? Read mode. Figure 5.1 summarize the open function of Python for you. As you can see in figure 5.1, the slashes in the path are double. This is because slashes have special meaning, and to suppress that special meaning, escape sequence for slash double is given. Means if we write like this, means it will become new line character. Means due to this symbol, means this symbol has special meaning. If we write like this backslash n, it will become new line character. But if we simply write like this or n, it will make no meaning. It will treat as variable and it will treat as normal symbol. But if both are coming together, then it will become new line character. So if you want to write only single slash, then we have to write like this. Means we have to make raw string. Means in raw string we are removing the value of slash. The value of slash will become meaningless. That how we will make raw string? See here, f variable, after that assignment operator, then open function, inside parenthesis we have written r. After that this first parameter is given, means the path, and comma, and after that second parameter is also given. See, r is present here also, and we are writing r here also. If we write r at the beginning, then it will convert it into raw string. If we write r at the beginning inside the parenthesis, then it will make it as a raw string. In raw string, the meaning of slash will removed. Or else see here, backslash, if we are writing single slash, means like see, single slash and t, means it will treat as backslash t, means tab character. So if we make raw string, then the meaning of this slash will remove. It will simply treat t. Or here see here, backslash d. So when we will make raw string, then this thing will remove. See this one, the prefix r in front of a string make it raw string. That means there is no special meaning attached to any character. This is character. When we are making raw string, then the meaning will removed. The prefix re in front of a string make it raw string. That means there is no special meaning attached to any character. Remember, the following statement might give you incorrect result. Which one? This one. If we write single slash like this, then it will give you incorrect result. Why? See here, r is not written at the beginning. So it will treat as backslash t backslash d, that is why it will give you incorrect information. So there are two way to write the path. First we have to use double slash, or if we want to use single slash, then we have to convert it into raw string, means writing r at a beginning. So reason behind that is backslash t will treat as type character and backslash d on some platform as numeric digit or some error. Thus the two way to give path in file correctly are double the slashes, means like this we have to use double slash, or give raw string, means we have to write r at a beginning to convert it into raw string when we are giving the path as first parameter. File object, file handler. File object are used to read and write data to a file on disk. The file object is used to obtain reference to the file on disk and open it for a number of different tasks. Means file object is very important, through which we will access the file. We can add or delete data inside file with the help of file object or file handle. Normally we say what? Variable. File object, also called file handle, is very important and useful tool, as through a file object only Python program can work with file stored on hardware. All functions that you perform on data file are performed through file object, means all the operation which we are performing on file is performed with the help of file object only. So all the functions that you perform on a data file are performed through file object. If file object is not there, then we cannot perform any operation on the file, because file object provide a reference to access the file. When you use file open, Python store the reference of mentioned file in file object. A file object Python is a stream of byte where the data can be read either by byte or line by line or collectively. All this will clear to you in coming lines. See here. File access mode. When Python open a file, it needs to know the file mode. Means whenever we are opening any file, the mode must be clear. Means for which purpose we are opening the particular file. For read purpose, for write purpose, or read or write both, or delete, etc. So the mode must be clear. A file mode governs the type of operation such as read or write or append possible in the open file. Example, it refers to how the file will open. Once it opened, file open supported by Python are being given in table 5.1. See here. We know that data file are stored in two form, text file or binary file. So the mode, see here. In text file mode, this is text file mode and this is binary file mode. In text file mode, we will simply write R. For what? See the description, read only. But in binary file, we have to write RB. B indicate binary. B indicate what? Binary. R indicate, if we write simply R, means it is indicated that it is text file. But if we are writing RB, means it will indicate that this is binary file mode. So R is written for read only. So file must exist, otherwise Python will raise IO error. Means when we are providing the read mode, means the file must be present. If the file is not present, then Python will raise an error, input output error, means the file is not present which you want to read. See the second one, W. See the description, write only. W indicate what? Write only. But when we are writing simply W, it is for text file mode. But for binary file mode, we have to write WB. B indicate what? Binary. It is used for what? Write only. See the notes. If the file does not exist, file is created. Means you are opening the file for writing purpose. If the file is not present, then first you will create the file. So file is created. If the file exists, Python will truncate existing data and overwrite data in file. Means if the file is present, then Python will truncate or sort out or write the data inside that particular file. If the file is present, overwrite. So this mode must be used with caution. See the third one, A. A means what? Append. See the description. A means append. If we are writing AB, B indicate what? Binary, for binary file mode. See this one. File is in write only mode. If the file exists, the data in file is written and new data being written will be appended to the end. Means append means what? If the file is there and inside that file some data is stored, when we will use append mode, then new data will be added after the previous data, not before, after the previous data. So if the file does not exist, Python will create a new file. See next one, R plus. R plus indicate what? Read and write both in text file mode. See the description, read and write both. But R plus B, B indicate binary, so we will write R plus B or RB plus, this one. R plus B or RB, anyone you can write. This is for read and write both. Previously we were using the mode, which mode? R, simply for read, W for write, A for append. But if you want to read and write both, then we will use R plus or R plus B for binary file. See the description. File must exist, otherwise error is raised. Both reading and writing operation can take place. Why? Because we are using read and write both mode, and it is compulsory that file must exist. If not exist, then it will raise an error. After that, see here, W plus. W plus indicate what? Write and read both. In binary file we will write W plus B or WB plus, like this. See the note, file is created if not existed. But see what will be the difference between this one, R plus and W plus. In R plus, if the file is not present, it will raise an error. But in W plus, if the file is not present, it will create a file. This is the difference between R plus and W plus. If file is not present, R plus will generate an error. If file is not present, when we are using W plus, it will not generate an error. It will create a new file. If file exists, file is truncated, past data is lost. Both reading and writing operation can take place. Why? Because we are using R plus. Writing and reading both operation we can perform. And the last one, A plus. A, for binary file we can write A plus B or A B plus. It is also used for write and read. See the note, this one. File is created if does not exist. If file exists, data it retain, new data is appended. See the difference between this and this. In this, if the data is present, then it will what? Truncate, means the past data will lost. But in this, if it contain existing data, then the new data is added after the existing data. Why? Due to A means what? Append. And it is used for both writing and reading operation. This is all the mode, file mode, for text file and binary file. And what we have to write in second parameter when we are using open function. For text file we have to write all this, and for binary file we have to write all this is description and this is note, means in detail it is given. One assignment is given below, assignment number 12, containing total 5 questions you have to solve in your copy. Question number 1, what is file and why we need files? Question number 2, write 3 difference between text file and binary file. Question number 3, write 3 most basic file manipulation tasks. Question number 4, explain open function and why mode is required. Also write the default mode name of file. Question number 5, explain file modes in detail in table form. Thank you.